How's it going, y'all? Welcome back. Today's video is going to revolve primarily around Hotline back here, my custom water-cooled PC that I built a few months ago. What am I going to be doing to it? Well, I'm going to be upgrading it, because as decked out as it is, from top to bottom in terms of hardware, the one thing that is lacking here, in my opinion, is the lighting situation. You can see I do have some lighting over here. I've got some little underglow strips right here, as well as on the inside, and you can tell from the inside of the system that it's actually a pink, gray, and black color scheme that I went with. But the lights, on the other hand, are kind of like an in-between pink and purplish blend, and it kind of looks a little bit off. I was really happy about it at first, but it really was the closest I could find to the pink fluid and the pink cable sleeving that's inside of the case. So I kind of settled on it. They're really cheapy LED strips, single color, they're not RGB. So that's why today I'm going to be upgrading Hotline with the NZXT HUE Plus RGB custom LED kit and thing. It's cool. I actually did a really extensive review on this thing. It's like half an hour long. Check it out if you want. Dimitri from Hardware Canucks also just launched his review on the HUE Plus, and it's really good, super concise. He gets all the important information in there, and obviously the B-roll looks really good, as they usually do on Hardware Canucks. But that's primarily the focus of today's video. So without rambling too much further, I think the first challenge that I'm going to have to overcome today is where to actually put this thing, because there's no more space in the hard drive cages. They're all populated. There's no room for this thing. So I'm gonna have to again Makeover some shit and see if we can actually get this thing in there in the first place. Otherwise, this whole video is kind of a moot point. So let's get started on that. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna shut down. Shut down. Shut down. All right. Apart from upgrading Hotline, I also forgot to mention that it's about time for a good cleaning as well. So I'm not going to take things out, obviously, but I'm just going to give it a good spray down, a nice little wipe down as well, and hopefully get this thing a little bit less dusty than it is currently. It's been a while. It's been a while since Hotline had a bath. You're a dirty Nancy. I don't know what that means, but it sounds dirty. Oh, right. Yes, you are quite dusty, aren't you? There's a good hard look at the right side of the system. You can see I've got like tape. There should never be tape. Unless it's electrical tape, there should never be like scotch tape in a freaking computer build. But there you go. I actually had to snip some of the wiring for the LED strips that are in here and then route them into a Molex connector coming from my power supply to power the damn things. Super ghetto. It's somehow worked. I've got more tape up here. It's just nasty. It's just disgusting. How do you live like that? So I'm gonna go ahead and rip this shit out. Oh yeah, I've been waiting to do that for a while. Remember kids, pulling out is advised. I don't even care that I'm ruining these LED strips because I will never use them again. Good riddance. This is also tape. These are all just taped on here because the adhesive that came with these LED strips is just so horrible. Ow! Why are you so heavy? Damn you! You too fat! You are clearly American PC! I'm gonna go dust this off. I have to bring it to the bathroom or outside first, and then I'll be right back. Fuck it, should I do it here? Fuck it! I got this. You know, I probably should have done this first. Idiot. But you already knew that. Getting under the 750 series is a little tricky, cause there's not much space there. So I shove the cloth in, and I'll rub it around till it's really clean. Don't want it just to be obscene, no. Let me remind you that you can stop watching this video anytime you want. Cletus! Cletus, get over here! Cletus, I have a job for you, Cletus. You take the dog out back and shoot him. Shoot him for me. He's a devil. He's a devil dog. Ready? Ready, ladies and gentlemen? We're gonna see a dust filter that's not really that dusty. That's it. Not bad. I'll be right back. You used to call me on my good as new. You're good as new. Wow, I didn't realize this video would be so reliant on the cleaning aspect. Come on. Forgot there's no dust filter in the front either. Maybe I'll just slip a finger in there. Alright, we got the HUE Plus out of the box. We got 4 LED strips to play around with here. So, we've got a few options, don't we? We could either put all 4 LED strips inside of the case, which is probably what most people would do. You saw that with my older LED strips, I actually had 2 of them on the bottom. We showed that earlier in the video. So I could put 2 of them on the bottom and 2 of them in the case. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't know, guys. What do I do? Next, we're gonna go ahead and try to figure out a place to put this guy. You can see it's fully loaded back here. You know, if I really needed to cram. Not even, it's just too thick. It's just way too thick, it's not gonna fit. So what we're gonna have to do is flip it around to the front. Can you guys see that? We could just put it right here. That looks ugly. That looks ugly, let's do that. Or we could put it on the side of the power supply. That actually don't look too bad. I really wish that this didn't have this like semi-glossy finish on the front because it is a bit more reflective, makes it stand out more. I guess that was the point NZXT was trying to make, but I don't like it all that much, and it's okay. And then maybe we could put it at the bottom. Maybe it'll be a bottom feeder, right under the frickin' raz. Since there's really no room, and I'm having flashbacks now, I'm remembering why the LED layout initially was the way it was, because there's really no room up top for any LED strips. That's why I had 1 in the back, 1 on the bottom, and that was pretty much all I could do. I could, however, throw 1 at the front here. So I have 2 on the inside, on the sides, and then 1 on the bottom. I think that would provide the most even amount of lighting. However, I should be taking into consideration how long the strip's gonna be in total once I've connected it. Yeah, just think about that. Slick. Not you, Luke. You're cool. So we actually might need to use all 4 of these bad boys. Okay, I think I'm gonna do that, guys. I think the bottom LEDs are gonna have to wait for a later time. Maybe I'll do a part 2 to this video. Let me know if you think I should. Still try to get some underglow in there. But I think this is gonna look pretty sweet. This is a pretty sweet deal. I'm glad that the 4 included strips that we've got actually cover most of the case here. Would have been cool if there was a 2.5-inch mount right at the bottom of the case. I mean, just for this reason, really. But it's cool. We'll just go ahead and put some Velcro right there. All right, I've got it in there. Looks like the Velcro is adhering properly. And I think we're good to go, man. Freaking HUE Plus installed. Woo! All right, y'all, so before we jump into the software and start getting our groove on, I just wanted to give you a close-up look at the interior of the case. What I've done with the LED strips, you can see all 4 of them go perfectly around the 3 edges of the computer chassis. And then we've also got the unit right here. So I did the best I could with cable management. Since it's so low, like literally at the very bottom, it's pretty hard to even see when the side panel's on. And then of course the unit itself. Now, it just happened to work out that the white LED is facing away from me, or from the side panel. So you can actually see it's definitely illuminated there, but since it's mounted this way, you can't really see it, which I think is great. I think I'm really glad that I don't have to show off that white LED because it might interfere with the rest of my color scheme. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So there's just a quick look at the internals so you can kind of get an idea of what we're working with here. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the software.
All right, so now Hotline is all set up. We are in the CAM software. That's NZXT's in-house program to configure all of our lighting modes and effects and things like that. So you can see right now the system is not lit up at all, even though the LED strips are on there. We just have the LEDs disabled at the moment. So we're just gonna go through the list of presets here, and I've already kind of configured create custom profiles within each of these that just to save time. Starting off with the basics, we've got a fixed LED mode right now. As you can see, it's all the way on black. I've gone ahead and played around with a few colors, the first one being white. It's very neutral, obviously, and you can really see the innards of this system the best, I think, with white lighting. So this is definitely a contender, just to go with a simple white lighting. Next up, we have the fuchsia color that I tried to replicate the color of the liquid, the fluid, as best I could. Now, even though it's maybe not 100% perfect, this is still way closer to the pink in Hotline than the old LED strips that I had previously. So I'm actually really digging this fuchsia. I'm also going to be revisiting it on in some of the other future lighting modes that we have here. Next up, we've got sky blue, and even though there isn't a hint of blue in this entire rig, this is just kind of an overall desk theme that I've ended up going with. My desktop background is kind of a blend of this color and that fuchsia that we were looking at, and also my K70 RGB kind of does a breathing effect between these two colors as well. So I don't know why, but these are just totally like Hotline Miami colors, and I think even though there's no blue in the system, I think it still accentuates it quite well, and it kind of complements the existing pink that's in there. So I think between this, fuchsia, and white, those are probably the three main colors that we're going to be messing around with for the most part. So moving on to breathing, this is just, again, a really simple change this blue here. This is just a really simple breathing effect. I like fading a bit better, because you'll notice with breathing, the lights dim all the way before they go back up, and I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of that. If there's lighting in the case, I want it to always be on. I don't like it to fade out and then come back on. I just think it's a bit distracting for me. So moving on to fading. Now, I thought this was kind of a cool idea. So this is kind of a best of both worlds. I'm switching between fuchsia and white. I've named this profile warm to cool because you do get kind of both of those color temperatures with this lighting mode. And then moving on to marquee tool. Or marquee tool, wow, okay, Photoshop users. This is the spotlight that I created. Now, generally, the way marquee works is you have a backlight color that just stays constant. It's a static light that lights up on all the LEDs, and then you have a marquee color that kind of just travels around that loop, so to speak, in a different color. What I've done here is I've actually made the backlight color black. So I've essentially disabled all LEDs for the backlighting, and then I just made the marquee color white. And you can see I've named this one Spotlight, just because I think it's kind of a neat idea. Having the case pitch black, but then having this one bright white LED traveling around it. And you can see I've also made the group size of LEDs 5 LEDs long. Covering marquee, very similar to the one we just looked at, but I'm going with an RGB here. Instead of having a backlighting, the colors just run, they travel one after the other, so there's no real backlighting there. But I just went with the classic RGB. Obviously, it doesn't match with the pink. It actually looks kind of hideous, but I think this is just, for me, more of a fun option. Gotta throw, they're RGB LEDs, you gotta throw some RGB in there sometimes, right? Sooner or later, it's gonna catch up to you. But that's all for that one. Pulse, for Pulse, I just see this as like a strobe light effect. I guess if you go really slow, you can make it more like a heart beating, and you can probably even, make it look even more like a heart if you choose like a warmer color, represent blood or something like that. Let's just go pure blood. The blood dripping down, pumping through the pipes of the I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the strobe light effect with the white. I think it looks pretty sweet. This is probably as fast as I would go. If you go any faster than that, pretty much give yourself a seizure. And then we got spectrum wave. There's not much customization you can do here in terms of color picking, because it is just every color of the spectrum that runs through. And so yeah, you can really just change the interval, the speed and direction. So we could go backwards if we really want to live life on the edge. I'm going backwards today, guys. Good for you, Kyle. Good for you. So yeah, this is just a nice mode to have on hand. And then we've got alternating, which I think is my new favorite one after playing around with it. You can see I've named this one Slot Machine. And we've got both our fuchsia and our blue. When I apply that, bam! It just reminds me of a slot machine. Like I could just hear the like coins falling out and everything. Yeah, that's totally what this is. This is exactly like. So I've got the moving motion on. You can see without it moving, the lights just kind of, they alternate, but they don't really go anywhere. And that kind of freaks me out. I think the moving just looks a little bit more seamless, less seizure inducing. Again, got a 3 LED group size that just seems to be, or I guess the spotlight was 5, but we've got a little bit shorter one, shorter of a group size here, and it's going pretty fast. We're going on the fastest mode, and we're going forward. We're going forward this time, guys. Yep, back to our old ways. But yeah, I really like this one a lot. You kind of get both of those nice colors in there at the same time. I think I'm just gonna start playing slot machine sound effects in the background of all my videos now. And then lastly, we've got Candlelight, which is actually a new feature that comes to us through a patch update very recently. That I haven't seen this until now, but this is cool that NZXT is adding new LED modes to this software. Just, I don't know, it makes it seem more worth the hefty premium that you pay for this thing. So I think it's like 60 bucks. But this is kind of a cool effect. It's supposed to replicate the flame of a candle, the flickering flame of a candle, I should say. And it comes default with this nice auburn color, but of course you can change that up to whatever you want. Although that didn't work. Yeah, there you go. So you can change it to whatever you want and it'll just kind of slowly flicker. There's no speed adjustment for this one, so you know, if you wanted to replicate like a candle flickering in the wind violently, you probably couldn't do that unless they added it in a future patch. Those are pretty much all the LED effects, guys. Let me know which one you guys like the best, or if you'd like me to try something else, and maybe I'll post a video on it on Instagram or something like that. But that's pretty much gonna conclude it for this video. I think for now, I think today I'm feeling slot machine. I'm gonna run slot machine today, but who knows what I'll run tomorrow. I already know what I'm gonna do tomorrow, but I'll never tell. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Go ahead and toss me a like if you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. More tech videos coming really soon, I promise. And have a very Merry Christmas. I'll probably see you guys again before then, whether it's in a video or some kind of maybe I'll Periscope or something like that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next video.